Hi everyone, thanks for taking time to watch our video here. I'm Todd Nickens with Weichert Realtors, Saxon in Kingsport, Tennessee. I want to take a little time and talk about real estate agents. Obviously I'm a real estate agent. I've been a real estate agent for a little while now. Prior to being a real estate agent, Olivia and I moved 17 times in 19 years. Bought and sold a lot of houses. Used a lot of different agents because most of those moves were to different cities while we both worked in retail. So learned a lot about real estate doing that, learned about real estate agents doing that. So wanted to give you a little thought process behind using a real estate agent versus not, first of all, and then how to select a real estate agent if you're a seller, how to select one if you're a buyer, and what the differences would be. So why would you not use a real estate agent? Why would you use a real estate agent? If you have bought and sold a lot of properties like Olivia and I had, maybe you don't need a real estate agent. You become familiar with the documents and all the different things, but if that is not something you've done in the past, you don't have experience with it, then definitely you need to hire a real estate agent. There are many things that need to be done, and they need to be done in a timely manner when you're doing a real estate transaction. And unless you have first-hand knowledge of that, it can be a difficult path. You can sell real estate on your own without a license. You can sell your own real estate without a license, let me say that. And so it can be done. It can be costly. Most people do that in order to save money, but I'll tell you that it can cost you money not using a real estate agent. How? Well, you're going to have paperwork done, registered, all those sort of things. So that's going to cost money. You could make serious mistakes that will cost you money, not now and not at closing, but maybe 4 or 5 years down the road. Our biggest word in real estate agents is disclosure, disclosure, disclosure. And the reason we use that word so much is we want to disclose everything we know about that property to the person who's buying it, so that they know on the front side. Because if you don't disclose something, sell a property down the road, it is a legitimate threat for somebody to come back, the buyer, come back and sue you because you didn't disclose something with the property. It's a problem, an issue. So that can cost you even though you're trying to save money. Secondly, the biggest thing I see right now, and we talked about this in our last video, because the value of homes is going up rapidly in our area, you could not price your home appropriately and cost you tens of thousands of dollars easily. Way more than what you would pay a real estate agent to do an analysis of pricing that property. And real estate agents are pricing houses all the time because they're listing houses. So they are more familiar with it and know what the market will bear, because ultimately a house is worth what someone will pay for it. So even though a lot of people try to save money by not using a real estate agent, more times than not, well, I'd say half the time, in my opinion, people cost themselves money versus saving it. They think they're saving it because they don't want to write a check, which they don't write a check, really. It comes out of the transaction. The transaction pays for the real estate agent more than the seller or the buyer does. So I'd say that you would cost yourself more money more times than not than if you went ahead and used a real estate agent. So how do you find a real estate agent? How do you pick a real estate agent? I would tell you that you need to pick somebody that considers it a job and not a hobby. There's a lot of hobbyists out there. look at how much they've done. You can pull those numbers. You can call your local MLS. You can ask for those numbers. Who's the best. Might not want to go with the person that's doing the most volume. I'll talk about that in a minute. But you want to know people that have lots of listings, represent lots of buyers, have both sides, not just one-sided. And there's a reason for that. We'll talk about that in a minute. But you want to. This is a job. It's a job, and you need to interview people for this job. I would say, look at who's viable in the marketplace, whose side do you see up the most, whose advertised do you see? Because if you're serious about your business and you treat it like a business, you're going to be advertising. You have to spend money to make money. That's what I say. So I do a lot of advertising myself, and you have to. You're feeding your business by doing that. So there's as many different real estate agents as there are people. Because real estate agents are people. And a lot of them, I've been doing it a long time. You say, well, that's the kind of person I want. I want somebody who's been doing it a long time. Yeah, that could be true. And a lot of times they're probably the best real estate agents. They've been doing it for a long time. Sometimes, though, they can get to where they're out of touch a little bit because they're thinking of how, and I've seen this lately because the market's changed so quickly, they're still back 10 years ago, and the way they price things and what they're doing is based on that experience, and that market was completely different than this market. You got a lot of new folks. I think I know it's over 1,500 agents here in the Tri-Cities, and not all of those are active. It's still kind of the 80-20 rule. 20% of the agents are doing 80% of the business. And there's lots of reasons for that. The real estate's not for everybody. I train the new agents in our office, do a training with them every week, and it's you can pick up on things and people. I tell them it's not for everybody. It is work, and that's the kind of agent you want. That's somebody who treats it like work and not a hobby. And a lot of times people choose people they're friends with, and that's fine. Just again, even if you know them, you may have known them all your life, you still need to interview them, in my opinion, versus other agents. Interview at least 3. Talk to them. Ask questions. See what their answers are. What is their knowledge? Okay? What is their knowledge of the market? What is their knowledge of listing? What is their knowledge of buying? How much percentages do they do of each? Are they 80% buyers and only 20% listings, or vice versa? So those are kind of questions you need to ask and talk to. And by asking questions and just having a conversation, you will quickly see how far deep they are in it. Are they full-time or are they part-time? So obviously I'm going to try to sell you on me, so I'll just tell you a little bit about myself. I was in retail management for 35 years with a couple of different companies, and thank God I'm not anymore. But through that, I managed people and processes, which is exactly what we do in real estate. We're managing people's expectations. We're managing different people in different roles: lenders, attorneys, title companies, inspectors, all those different things for our clients. We're managing a process because listing a house, selling a house, or buying a house has a timeline and certain functions and activities that have to happen at a certain time. So you're managing a process the entire time. So my background helped me tremendously with that. And also moving 17 times in 19 years, buying and selling a lot of houses, that helped develop me for this career as well. I would tell you that primarily my focus is on listings. I do a lot of listings. I focused on that from the very beginning. But I do have several buyer clients that I work with. bringing people in, and knowing the area. We've been in this area for 25 years now. We moved into this area from another area, so therefore we had to learn it ourselves. So we're familiar with that and teaching people about our area. The other thing that taught me over years in retail management too is I'm completely straightforward and honest with people. I don't beat around the bush. I don't have time to try to make you feel good about something. I'm just going to tell you straight like it is. Here recently, I've had a couple of fire hires, as I call them. So people had their house listed with an agency and fired them and then hired me. And both cases, it was a real simple issue. It's managing expectations and being completely honest with people was the problem. The agents before were trying to make people feel good about the price and not being honest about the price. Because there's so many factors that go into pricing a home when you sell it. Obviously the market, the square footage, but the condition. Is it move-in ready? What's going to have to be done to it? And that's we would say, well, some people like it if it needs to be worked on. Yeah, some people do, not most people. And we've got to look at the average. So that takes a lot of homework, a lot of numbers crunching, and being honest with people. And I have to tell you right now, I've lost business and clients because of that approach. Because they were not being realistic in their attitude toward the cost of their home, what they can get for it when they sell it. Because they hear so much outside, oh, market's great, so it's great, sales market, oh, you just get all kinds of money. Well, yeah, if you got a move-in ready house, it's ready to go, and it's between 2,000 and 3,000 square feet. But if you got one that's smaller than that, or it doesn't have master on the main, it needs a lot of updating, it's cosmetically not appealing, or even if it's a big house. We have two markets in our market, and a lot of people don't understand that. And it's hard to draw a line because it's kind of gray, but we'll just say 350,000, so or 3,500 square feet. If your house is below 350,000 and 3,500 square feet, man, it's a hot market. Hot. Just, you're going to list it today, sell it next week. And if not, something's wrong. And then above that, above 3,500 square feet and 350,000, it's a normal market. I mean, it's 3 to 6 months, if not more. Why? Because young people and retirement age people all are looking for the same house. It's below 350,000. It's a smaller house. Don't want a lot to take care of. Those type of things. Young people want that, and retiring people. So that's 2/3. I mean, if we split it in thirds, that's 2/3 of the market wanting one half of the market, and then the other half of the market, these large homes. 4,000, 4,600, 5,000, 7,000 square feet. There's only a small percentage of people that want that. So that actually is making that a normal market in those price ranges. So a lot of people don't understand that. A lot of agents don't understand that. And so they think if they get a $500,000, $1 million home or something, oh, I can get that listed, it'll sell in a few weeks. No. It won't. It's going to be 3 to 6 months because they hadn't had experience with it. You know what I'm saying? And they won't be honest with people. Managing expectation and knowing what's going to happen is part of a real estate agent. I would say too, part of being a real estate agent is being courageous when people are afraid, being bold when people want to hide their heads. And that's what we're hired to do. We're hired to represent our clients in that real estate transaction. And you have to be confident in what you're doing in order to do that. You have to know the market. You have to have experience in order to do that. So I would say picking a real estate agent it's like interviewing people for a job. and you need to take time and do it wisely. Seek counsel from others. Look for recommendations. People will tell you, use this person, they were great for me, or don't ever use this person, right? So ask around and interview. I would tell you that agency, and we know this in the industry, agency matters in some things, but it matters less than what it used to matter. It's more about the agent now than the agency. Although I would say in listing properties and trying to sell properties, you want to use an agent that's in an agency that has national reach, even global reach, like Weichert. Weichert has global reach. We're a global company, not just a national company. And so therefore, when you list with us, it goes into 60 websites within 24 hours. It's put across the nation to the Weichert agencies that exist, and also onto the websites. Don't know if that happens with local companies. I don't know. I'm just saying I don't know that happens because I don't know what their technology infrastructure is. But I do know with a global company, you're going to have more traffic. You're going to be able to get that listing out to more people. But then on the other hand, if you're a buyer, sometimes having a local company is better. Why? Well, they're local. They've been there. They know the area. But again, it goes back more toward the individual agent than it does the agency. So just things to consider when you're looking at buying or selling or working with a real estate agent, what to look for. Be glad to talk to you individually about that. You can call me anytime at 423-967-4312. It'll be on the bottom so you can see it. And also, if you have questions or things you'd like me to talk about, please leave those in the comments. I'd be glad to do a video about it. And remember that the things that I talk about on my videos, they're just my opinion. And you've got an opinion, and our opinions may not be the same. And that's okay. It's okay. These are things that are my opinion. And I want to say, too, part of the great thing about being a real estate agent in this area is working with the other real estate agents. One thing I say all the time is there's plenty of business to go around. There's no need to try to steal business or talk bad about somebody else. And really that's hard to do in our area because we have some of the greatest agents, I want to say. And I have really enjoyed working with many of them. Through this, there's a lot of stress, and hopefully stress sometimes creates comedy, because sometimes you just have to laugh and grin and bear it. And I've been in the trenches with some of our agents in this area from many different agencies, and luckily have a great relationship with so many of them, and I really appreciate it. So I would say just in our area, choosing a real estate agent is a little easier because we have really good agents in our area. So thanks again for watching, and I hope you have a blessed day.